Going now to London, the hundreds of theater goers who packed into central London's historic Apollo Theatre on Thursday night were expecting to watch a mystery. But about 40 minutes into the play, shortly after 8 p.m., they got a drama instead.
Loud bang. I don't think it was an explosion. And the ceiling came down. A lot of dust, chandelier, wood and all that sort of stuff. Landed on about 5 or 6 rows. We were in row, what row were we in? E. A couple of people quite badly hurt in the theatre over there, but most people got out okay.
Well, we originally just thought it was sound effects of the theatre and then of the play, and then we just looked up and the whole ceiling was like slow motion, just kind of came down.
People on the stage, you know, the actors, said, watch out, watch out.
We were sitting in about three rows from the back in the stalls, weren't we, initially? And then
one of the actors said, watch out.
One of the actors said, watch out. We thought it was part of the play.
I've since seen people most people covered in dust, but a lot of people covered in blood as well, and people who look like they've got some serious head injuries.
Investigators are trying to establish why part of the ceiling collapsed at London's Apollo Theatre, injuring 76 people, 7 of them seriously. One line of inquiry will be the effect of adverse weather on the 100-year-old Grade 2 listed building. There was a thunderstorm and a heavy rain burst in London on Thursday evening, with a high number of lightning strikes across the capital. Deputy Assistant Commissioner Graham Ellis of the London Fire Brigade said the plaster work had fallen onto the upper circle, the dress circle, and the stalls.
To confirm, it's been confined to some heavy ornate plastering, typical with what you would expect to find in a theatre in the West End of this age. It's fallen from the roof level, so above the upper circle, if you like. It's fallen down to the upper circle, the dress circle and the stalls. The injuries to the casualties that our colleagues have spoken about are consistent with that. We've managed to stabilise the situation inside the theatre. We're working closely with colleagues from Westminster City Council, their building surveyors, and the scene has now been sterilised. Nobody's going in there, and the investigations have started.
The London Fire Brigade's Kingsland Station Manager Nick Harding said about 720 people were inside when a section of the ceiling collapsed on the theater goers, taking parts of the balconies with it. Emergency officials said a total of 85 people had been injured now, though many of them were treated at the scene and released.
We had our first responses on scene within 3 minutes, and very shortly afterwards we declared a major incident. We currently have deployed 25 of our frontline resources to this incident, and at the present time we are treating 85 casualties. 4 of those are in the more serious category. The other 81 are walking wounded and currently being treated. We've identified 3 hospitals where those patients will go to, and we're working with London buses as well as our own resources to make sure those patients are treated and taken to the appropriate care centres.
Officials said what fell was a 10-meter by 10-meter square section of the ceiling and that it dragged down balconies with it. Witnesses said they saw the ceiling in the 4-story auditorium suddenly collapse during the performance, creating panic when those inside realized it was not part of the play anymore.